Glad to have you back. We are talking Old Tomorrow beer, the unofficial beer of the WS Daily. We welcome Ian McDonald. Now, your mom, Pat, has been here. Welcome. Talking about Old Tomorrow, we've introduced the original Canadian Pale Ale, Old Tomorrow.
Right.
A few weeks ago, we talked about the new Track 85, which is all about the last spike in the railway.
That's right, and there's a big railway car not too far away from here in downtown Kingston that celebrates Canada going coast to coast in 1885 with the National Railway. So this beer celebrates that epic journey, all the hard work and sacrifice that it took to get there, and it's very smooth, very crisp. So on a hot day like today, when it's 25, 30, 35 degrees out, seemingly 40, you want something that is flavorful but also quite crushable. And this beer delivers on both of those things, so you can enjoy something, but it's very crisp.
Okay, crushable is a word that your mom used. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's a colloquial word that has sort of come through the craft beer industry, and what it means is a beer that goes down easy. So
it's crushable.
It's crushable, right? You can crush a few back responsibly, of course, but sometimes you just want something that's very hydrating and crisp and refreshing, and that's sort of what we describe sometimes as crushable.
Well, I love the fact that Sir John A. Macdonald is on the label. It's all about celebrating his legacy and his life, and I love the fact that it's a family business.
That's right. Yeah, we're McDonald's who've been obviously very aware of Sir John A. and his legacy, and we felt that it was important to celebrate everything that he, but also every Canadian, has been able to accomplish and achieve. So we use him, his nickname's Old Tomorrow, to kind of be that guiding start to the brand and where we want to take the business. But at the end of the day, it's all about inspiring every Canadian to achieve their own inner greatness, and hopefully these beers and the stories they tell help push people just that much further to do their accomplish their own dreams.
So well said. You have a great mom, and I can tell
she's great. Yeah,
she's
hi mom.
We love Pat McDonald. The LCBO, there's only one in town so far, but they're introducing it this weekend for the holiday long weekend. A brand new honey ginger shandy.
Shandy, that's it. Yeah, this is our brand new Shandy. It's a 3% beer, somewhat beer cocktail, so it's also quite easy drinking, and it's a combination of beer and ginger ale. So you may be familiar with Radlers, which use grapefruit juice, and they're sort of Germanic based. This is British based, and it's a very easy drinking beer, perfect for after a round of golf, or sitting on a patio, or just lounging by the dock, especially when it's really hot out.
Oh.
It quenches your thirst, and it's has a lot of natural botanicals in it as well from the ginger ale we use. It's an exclusive partnership with Muskoka Springs Pale Ginger Ale. So that's a recipe going back to 1873 that we use in this Shandy, and it's just really crisp and refreshing. It's invigorating after you're lounging out and are sweating it out on a hot day.
That sounds like what a great mental picture that is. Julie Brown refers to it as a shanty. I think it's called a shandy, not to be confused with the Kiss song Shandy, which is an I. So what is it, shandy or shanty?
Well, we pronounce it and spell it Shandy in honor of the British roots, but nowadays, I mean, feel free to do whatever you feel comfortable doing. I'm not going to hold you back. So
Julie Brown does walk to the beat of her own drummer.
That is true, yeah. And the other thing I do want to mention about the Shandy is that it is in select stores right now. So it's in the downtown Kingston LCBO, the 34 Barrack Street location. So they've been great partners of ours, as has everyone at the LCBO and head office as well. So I just wanted to thank them for helping to bring this Shandy or Shanty to the market. It's the first Ontario craft Shandy, and it's really exciting, and we couldn't have done it without their efforts.
Okay, I think, do you hear that? It's calling me. Did you hear that? It's saying, Bill, drink me, please.
Drink you. Well, do you want to get it fired up?
I would love to try the honey ginger shandy.
Let's fire it up. Okay. Let's do this.
And you could just use a regular pint glass for this. Is there any special?
A regular pint glass. I like to use almost like a narrow glass, but in honor of Cottage Weekend, we've got a pretty cool little cocktail glass here, because the other thing you can do is you can mix it with other spirits if you want. So because this has got ginger ale in it, you might want to try a little bit of rye to kind of spice it up. So this is the Shanty here. Okay,
well, we're going to give you a little bit of the dirt, not before I try the Old Tomorrow Honey Ginger Shandy. This is so good. It smells like the ginger ale. I smell a little bit of honey in there as well.
Big effervescence, a lot of aromatics. That's the ginger ale. We put honey in to balance the ginger ale, give it a little bit of sweetness, and we also put a little bit of lemon in too.
That is so good. I've never had anything like this before. We're going to talk about food pairings coming up in mere seconds, so please stay with us. Cheers to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back. We remind you as we approach this holiday long weekend to please drink responsibly, and we are talking about Old Tomorrow beer. They've introduced the brand new Shandy.
Yes.
It smells delicious.
It does smell delicious.
Yeah.
I can just imagine myself enjoying one this weekend.
On the dock in Peterborough.
On the dock in Peterborough,
In
Pigeon
Muskoka.
Lake, here I come.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kawarthas. Now, Ian, of course, the long weekend, many people
Yeah.
getting together, and food is a big part of entertaining along with imbibing. And you have brought along some suggestions on what works well with your beer and shandies.
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing is summer long weekends, they're almost too short, right? So you really want to enjoy them, and you want to make sure you enjoy them not just with a few drinks, but also with the right food pairings as well. That'll help keep you going and making sure that you got a balanced weekend approach. So we've got laid out here a number of different food items. Some of them pair well with beer, in particular craft beer, and some of them we've actually made with our beers as well, if you want to give that a shot.
So quite versatile. You can drink it and cook with it and bake with it. Okay. And of course, cheese. Always a popular choice.
Absolutely. It's easy to lay out, and a lot of people think cheese, they think wine. That's kind of the first place that they go. But you can actually pair a lot of different foods with beer depending on the different types of flavors. And the advice we give people who are looking to experiment with craft beer is first get a number of different cheeses, charcuterie, salamis, etc., that are spicy, sweet, maybe subtle, maybe a little bit of creamy. And we do three things. We either cut the flavor of the beer, we complement, or we contrast it. So a beer like a Shandy that's a little bit sweeter, maybe you want to help cut a spicy salami flavor and give it, sort of balance it out, right? Or our lagered ale is very subtle and has some subtle fruit notes, so it goes great with a camembert. It complements that flavor, and it's the cut, complement, and contrast that we really like to focus on when we're pairing beer with cheese.
Interesting.
And it's varied. You have the prosciutto, which is very salty, but then you have marshmallows and chocolate, which is very sweet. So you can pretty much dive into anything. Potato skins.
Yes, I know you have your eye on the potato skins.
I have my eye on everything. I'm like Marty
pass the
Feldman. I
potato.
have one eye over here, one eye over there, one eye over there.
So we actually made those with a reduction of our Track 85 lagered ale to give it a little bit more substance, a little bit more moisture in the potatoes. So those are really good. They're really easy to make. You can fire those up on the barbecue, and the recipe is online at oldtomorrow.com. All the recipes for the foods we're going to show you today are on our website.
Fabulous. And what's really nice about what you're offering is that it won't take hours to prepare, because you want to be able to be outside enjoying your friends, your family, and the good food.
Absolutely. And I want to pick up on a comment, Bill, you mentioned too, on how easy it is. We just laid out some chocolate here and some s'mores. A lot of people think beer and chocolate, they may not be going there, right? And a lot of people think dark porters or stouts pair great with chocolate. That is true, but you may not want to have a really dark beer on a hot summer day. So the other thing we would challenge everyone to try and just experiment. It's all about being adventurous. Is pair some chocolate with an India Pale Ale or a Canadian Pale Ale, some kind of ale that's got at least a little bit of bitterness. Not a lot, doesn't have to be a lot, but that will balance out the sweetness, and it actually might bring out some of the bitterness of the chocolate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What I find is really interesting about Old Tomorrow Beer and the family-run business is, most craft beers will introduce a brand new brew once every couple of years. They've introduced 2 new beers in about 3 months.
That's ambitious.
It has been. We've been really trying to bring new flavors to the market. We really see ourselves as a brand that has a number of different approachable flavors that can pair well with any occasion or gathering. And our sort of mission is to celebrate Canadian greatness and the stories through each beer, but also giving people a chance to try new flavors that turns their crank and that are easy to enjoy on a long weekend like this long weekend.
Look at that. We've got kebabs, we've got beautiful bean salads, cobs of corn.
This bread, actually, my mom, Pat, made with Track 85 lagered ale. So we have a recipe now where you can make beer bread, which is a little bit hardier, tastes a little bit different.
So this beer bread is a savory bread.
It's got a little bit more savoriness in it, yeah. It's got the malt from the beer as opposed to the water, which doesn't taste like anything. You've got a little bit more, let's say, je ne sais quoi in this beer.
Yeah. Well, all the recipes are at oldtomorrow.com, a ton of recipes on there, and how you can use the beer for cooking and for making things, and also what will pair the beer best.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and we've got a number of other bar partners downtown that are also pairing our beers with food. So I just want to give a shout out to Sir John's Public House and Olivea, who have got a number of different foods that pair well with these beers.
Excellent. Well, happy long weekend, Ian.
Thank you.
Bill, I'll let you.
You're good. You're enjoying.
Finish your bite. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, guess who's coming to Canada? That's right, Will and Kate. We'll have details after the break.
Oh, so good.
Bookmark our page and